Life is weird. I am currently I put coconut oil in my hair, so excuse the beautiful look. Anyways, I wanted to tell you about my oldest daughter's imaginary friend that she had when she was very little. She was about 2.5 years old. And this was something, I mean, I took her in to see a psychologist for a little bit because of this, because I didn't know what was going on with my daughter. Um, Talking to her every night. If she brought it up, then we would talk about it. And there were several times that she freaked me out. You know, one time I asked her why I could never see it, and she said that it was afraid of me. And another time I asked her if she had seen it soon, and she said, or recently, and she said yes. And I said, well, where is he? And she said, he's standing right behind you, Mommy. I'm not kidding you. My hair stood straight up on end. But the scenario I wanted to tell you about was when she was probably 3, and it was the middle of the afternoon, and I was in the living room vacuuming. She was in her room playing. And all of a sudden, she came running out, screaming, hysterical. And have you ever had your child climb you with terror? It is the most absolutely heart wrenching, and you go into mama bear mode immediately because my daughter was so afraid, so afraid. She tried to get in my skin. I mean, she was holding on to me so tightly, and had indicated that it was in her closet. And so I told her we're going to go see, and she, no, didn't want to go. And this went on. And I finally, was like, look, I'm going to go in your room. And she just gripped me so tightly. And we went into her room. And in her closet, I had a dresser, her dresser, white, very bright closet, no darkness in there at all. Very good lighting from the window naturally. And again, it was the middle of the day. And so her closet door was open. It's a slider type. And she had stuffed animals in there. It was very well put together. There was no, I kept her room clean and organized. Anyhow, she's buried herself in my neck, and I start naming things. There's your this stuffed animal, there's this toy, I see your dresser, your drawers, and I'm naming and naming things. And she starts loosening up her grip and, starting to trust that there's nothing. And I'm naming everything in her closet. This goes on for a couple of minutes, and she finally gets brave enough to look. And she turns to look and flippin' screams that it's still there. And I left the room and I shut the door. That was a very terrifying situation for me. I mean, I know from my own experience as a child that children don't make things up. I'm sorry, they don't. And you can disagree with me or you can agree with me. Children see the other spectrums. It's proven. I've been through it when I was a child, and there's no handbook that tells a parent um, how to not make your child feel alone by dismissing them and by telling them it's just your imagination. That's not the thing to do. You have to counsel your child. You have to help them because they end up just feeling alone. And you don't ever want that. You don't ever want your children to feel like they're on their own with this. So we stayed out of her room. I went and saw my brother the next day, and I asked him what I could do. And he told me to put mirrors in the corners of her room, and for 3 days to leave the mirrors in the corners of her room. She slept in my room at this point during these 3 days. And so I did that. And then after the third day, then I was to cover the mirrors and then take the mirrors out of the house and bury them. And I did. She was never scared again like that. But her imaginary friend didn't go away until we moved out of the house. And she confided in me at 5 years old at this point that she was really happy that her imaginary friend couldn't find her. And that disturbed me. And, we talked a little bit, and she indicated that sometimes it would look like her. And for the most part, it was a brown, 3 foot tall, furry little boy, type furry little boy. So, but sometimes he would look like her. Just sharing. Love you guys.